Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, Tuesday morning, and now we know who's going to battle it out in the World Series, but last night's championship series game, I thought, was an incredible way to go out in that series.
It really was very exciting in a lot of respects, depending, of course, on your allegiance. It'll be the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series this year, beginning on Friday. And Rogers Center in Toronto will be buzzing on Friday and Saturday. That's how the games are scheduled this year, Friday and Saturday in Toronto. The next three starting on Monday night. They take Sunday off. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be in Los Angeles, and then back for Friday and Saturday in Toronto if necessary. 4-3, the Toronto Blue Jays win, coming from behind to do it, and on a 3-run homer by George Springer. How many of you longtime Springfield Cardinals fans remember when George Springer played here at Hammons Field? He did indeed. He was with the Corpus Christi Hooks. I remember we televised the opening game that year, which was Springfield versus Corpus Christi. And all Springer did, folks, was play 73 games for Corpus Christi. That's half the season, and he won the Texas League Player of the Year award. The guy was on fire down here, and he carries that over into a distinguished major league career. Hits a 3-run homer last night, expresses joy. He's now 36 years old. Springer's 3-run homer wins it 4-3, and it's the Toronto Blue Jays who upset everything for the Seattle Mariners.
And who you got chocolate chips on in this one, baby? You think Dodgers going to sweep? Like, I've been watching the talkings in the Ned Talk chat. What do you think?
I don't think sweep, no, but I do think the Dodgers win it. The Dodgers just have superior pitching in every respect, and they have the superstar in Mr. Ohtani, and they just have everything going for them. Seattle, who Toronto beat, is very, very good. Probably should have won the game, couldn't hold on. Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh had home runs in this game, but it was all in the stars for Toronto, and they did come away with that 4-3 win, but I do think the Dodgers win the World Series.
We'll see what happens. Speaking of we'll see what happens, I think any team would be lucky to have Mr. Pujols as their manager. What about you?
Well, the Los Angeles Angels don't seem to think so because their talks with Mr. Pujols have broken off, according to all the reports. However, there are two other teams who are very much interested in pursuing Albert and his 703 home runs to manage their players. One is the San Diego Padres, which of course would keep Albert out on the West Coast. The other is the Baltimore Orioles, interested in having Mr. Pujols perhaps manage their team. But right now, the deal with the Angels has fallen off. Contract negotiations have ended, so it will not be Los Angeles, at least for now, for whom Albert will be piloting the team.
So, like I talked about last week, this time of the year is one of my favorite times of the year of sports because literally everything is either getting to its pinnacle and championships or things are just starting off, and we've got a bunch of basketball about ready to kick off.
This is opening night for the NBA tonight. It opens with 2 games. This is all done to satisfy the television networks, and there are many of them, including, for the first time in many years, NBC and the Peacock, which is part of the NBC network. They're carrying the games, and that includes tonight's openers. It's a doubleheader, not in the same ballpark, of course, but the Houston Rockets will be in Oklahoma City to help the Thunder open up the season there. And later on, the Golden State Warriors come down and take on the Lakers in Los Angeles, and then almost everyone else begins tomorrow night. So it's a very heavy schedule of NBA action coming up.
And we had a doubleheader in the NFL last night.
I'm thinking this may be, Mike, I'm not sure about it, this may be the last of the 2 games on a Monday night. It's been a 4-game experiment that the TV networks have tried, especially ESPN and ABC, and there were 4 of them scheduled. I think this may have been number 4. Detroit Lions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Detroit, and the Lions win it by a score of 24-9. Really disappointed in Baker Mayfield and company. They could not get their act together, and then Mike Evans, one of the star receivers on Tampa Bay's team, goes out with an injury. But Jamar Gibbs, who is a very nice player out of Alabama and Georgia Tech, for that matter, had just an outstanding night on the ground. And Jared Goff, again quarterback to championship team. The Lions came back from that pasting by the Kansas City Chiefs 2 weeks ago and come up with a 24-9 victory. The other game, Seattle may have lost on the baseball diamond, but on the football field, the Seahawks won 27-19 over the Houston Texans. Zach Charbonnet had a couple of touchdowns. Kenneth Walker led the Seahawks in rushing with 66 yards. Hey, don't look now, but Seattle's 5-2 on the year. They have a contending team. Who knows? Maybe the Mariners didn't get in the World Series, but who knows where the Seahawks might end up in the playoffs. It's anybody's guess.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially with the way the league's looking right now, man. I think it's interesting because you mentioned the ESPN experiment. They've also done them in different iterations, like starts at this time, another one starts at this time, two at the same time, and then yesterday was the earlier start. So we'll see what happens and what kind of viewership and which way they go. Personally, as an ESPN guy, I love being able to have both those games on.
If they're looking to see what team draws the most viewers, guys, you don't need a doubleheader on Monday night. It's the Kansas City Chiefs, and they will be on by themselves next Monday night.
A very crazy story concerning a former Chiefs player this morning.
Yeah, this is a sad story, too. Many of you, although the numbers are fewer now, would remember running back Warren McVay on the Chiefs team in 1970. He was with their Super Bowl team. Really great runner in college at Houston University. Wondrous Warren, they called him down there. And McVay had a couple, maybe 2 years with the Chiefs, and certainly was a fine performer for them. He passed away yesterday at the age of 79. That's kind of a sad story in a way. He was at the very start of Houston University's rise into a football power, and that's a shame. Warren McVay leaving us at 79.
Yeah, it really is sad. I do remember him, incredible player for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Kingdom. We also, speaking of football, had a record broken in college football, which is a pretty crazy record to break.
It is admittedly in Division III, which is the lowest of the divisions in the NCAA. It's the non-scholarship division, but a game on Saturday between Curry College and Nichols. This is up in Massachusetts. The Curry College team is in Milton, Massachusetts, and that's where the game was played. Nichols, also a very fine private school in Massachusetts. Well, Monty Quinn is a running back for Curry, and all he did on 20, you get this now, folks, 20 carries, that's all he had in the game, 522 yards on the ground. Now think about that, 522 yards on 20 carries? That means he averaged about 26 yards per carry, and that's what he did. And the Curry team defeated Nichols 70-27. That's a new NCAA record. It is Division III. Now, who holds the Division I rushing record? Guy by the name, and hey, Mike, you remember this one, Samaje Perine, because he played a little bit for the Kansas City Chiefs last year and mostly with the Cincinnati Bengals. But Samaje Perine out of Oklahoma, 427 yards in 2014 running for Oklahoma against Kansas, and that's the D1 record. But the overall record goes to Monty Quinn of Curry College, 522 yards.
Crazy, but like you said, D3. But you know what? Circumstances are circumstances, and I dare any one of you to try and pull that off, even if you're playing in a high school game. Ned, you have a good Tuesday. I'll see you on Wednesday.